So for the sake of time, I'm going to assume that you already know what rib tips are and where you get them from. But don't worry, if you don't, I'll have some information down in the description. So here in this bowl, I got all my rib tips, which I cut into small chunks after I trimmed them off the spare ribs. They've been sitting in this velveting brine for about 30 to 45 minutes. So there's a lot of different versions and ways to do a velveting brine, but I just use baking soda and water. And 1 tablespoon of baking soda per cup of water is how I do it. Now, unlike a regular brine, you do need to rinse off a velveting brine because of the baking soda. It'll give your meat a bad taste if you don't rinse it off. So I'm just going to clean these up, rinse them off real thoroughly, and then we're going to get them over to the cutting board to dry them off, and we'll take it from there. So I got all my rib tips all dried off on all sides, and now it's time to coat them. So we're going to be using equal parts of flour and baking powder. Remember, baking soda is what you want to use in the velveting brine. Baking powder is what you want to use when you're trying to get skin crispy, or you're trying to get that KFC type of texture on any kind of meat that you're putting on the grill. In the bag with the flour and baking powder, you're going to put all the seasoning that you want, but you want to put all your seasoning in the bag, and you also want to put a little bit of oil in there with it to help everything stick, and then you just want to work it all around and get everything evenly coated in there. Let's get out to the grill now, and you can see that I have my grill set up for indirect heat, hot and fast. I got all of my coals on one side. I open my bottom vents to about 1/4, and I'm going to leave the top vent wide open until we see what the temperatures are running like in there. Alright, so my grill is up to temp, so now it's time to get my rib tip nuggets out there on the grill. That's what I'm calling them. And so I'm just going to dump them all on the grate on the opposite side of the coals and get them all spread out as evenly as possible. It's a tight fit right now. So I got them all on, and now we're just going to let them cook for about 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and check on them. I want to see how they're pacing since this is my first time doing this. Checking in 10 to 15 minutes kind of gives you an idea of how fast or how slow your meat is cooking, and then you can make adjustments from there. So it's been about 15 minutes, and already you can see that my coating is starting to turn brown and take on that kind of crispy fried texture that I'm looking for. But the flour is still showing through in some of the pieces here and there, so we still have a ways to go. So I'm just going to move them around a little bit, give them some space, and then we'll give them another 15 minutes. Alright, it's been another 15 minutes. We're 30 minutes into the cook right now, and it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I'm liking the way this is coming together already. This is just exactly what I had in my mind, y'all. Sticking my temperature probe in. They're already probing very, very tender thanks to that brine I did. But they still have a way to go before I'm happy with the color. So I'm going to flip them over and let them go a little bit longer. Alright, I'm back for my final check, and these babies are looking good, man. The color is just what I was going for. So I want to get a little bit of a sear on them if I can. I want to be careful not to burn them. So I'm going to move them right over the coals just for a few seconds. Then I'll put them back to the cool side, and that's it, man. They're pretty much done right now. I'm going to let them rest right here, get a little bit more heat, but then we'll take them inside. Alright guys, I got them off the grill. This is what they looking like, man. I love this. This is so cool, so unique. We loved them, man. We dipped them and ate them for a couple of days, just me and my wife. And I'll definitely be doing this again. I want to see your take on it, man. Let's blow this one up, man. I think this is a good appetizer and something that could maybe even go trending. I want to see your take, man. If you do it, holla at me, tag me. All right, let's go.